Hey, folks, if you haven't seen the trailer for this, or at least just the promotional art for it, you're going to be like, okay, this seems crazy. And nonetheless, this film was definitely something. I'm ready to jump into the review of the new film, Superhost. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Superhost, which is going to be releasing on Shudder September 2nd. Now, when I seen the poster, I was like, oh, okay, well, this seems interesting. And then I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I can't wait to check this out. And there's a couple of things I want to add to this. Number one, Superhost, we clearly know we're talking about Airbnb and stuff like that, because that's where those names come from. You're a Superhost when you get a fantastic rating in renting your property in Airbnb, thus being a Superhost. Now, I've already seen the film. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it came out like last year maybe? Time is flying. And it had something to do with somebody having rented an Airbnb property, and for all the reasons why I don't rent Airbnbs and just stick with hotels was solidified in that movie. So I'm like, okay, Superhost, here we go again. Let's just only, strengthening my reason as to why I won't rent in Airbnbs, because it's always something crazy that's going to go down. So I seen the art and I seen the title. I was like, yep, here's just another film to prove me right. And here we go. Superhost was an interesting film, because I don't know if I love it, but I certainly didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't think I was getting what I got. So I was a little bit caught off guard here, but I enjoyed it. This movie was fun. Wasn't really scared. So definitely the word fun is the word I want to go with here. This film stars Osric Chau, and Sarah Canning. They play Claire and Teddy. They are content creators, vloggers who goes to different properties, Airbnbs, even though they don't use the word Airbnb, but they go to different Airbnbs and they basically do YouTube videos, which they don't use the word YouTube, but they do YouTube videos in order to talk about their experiences. And if you know anything about content creators or influencers, that can make and break someone's like chin. So the fact that they do this is like, not only does it help them with views and financially, because views obviously gets them money, but it can make it break the renters or the hosts. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of a tricky circumstance for them to be in. Not to mention, because their mindset is content creators, all they do is every operation is about content. So we've seen the two of them kind of even battling through it to like when to be in character and when not to be in character. When essentially it's supposed to just be a vacation, but one person's mindset is we need content because we're losing views, and we need the money because we got to be able to support ourselves and stop asking our parents. And the other person's like, hey, I'm just trying to have vacation plus some other stuff that I won't spoil. So that's the first interesting thing, because I enjoyed the idea of seeing how silly content creators can be at times. But then you have Rebecca, who is played by Gracie Gilliam from Z Nation. She is the most inflated personality, and quite frankly, really bizarre and scary in her own right, to think that there may be people out there who really act like this, like for real. But she is the Superhost, and they're at her property, and she is very intrusive. Like, she, to the point, it's almost because it's an interesting dynamic, because she wants to ensure that their stay is good, and she's overstepping and overbearing. But at the same time, while it's very important for her rating to be good, because she has a really perfect rating or whatever they said, it's also funny because the content creators are also to the point that they understand that viewerships and ratings mean a lot to them, and then they clash. So there's a bunch of different random dynamics that are going on in this film. But nonetheless, with them being in Rebecca's home, Rebecca isn't quite what she seems to be, and the two of them are going to find out the hard way. So that's just the moral of the story, that if you're gonna stay in the Airbnb, you better check those references and them sources and them reviews. Check them twice, 3 times, 4 times over, because you never know what you're gonna step into. Because as of now, 2 movies have not only proven that, but I'm also convinced that there's a lot more of these stories out there. So, nonetheless, yeah, like I said, Gracie's performance is fantastic. Osric, I thought that his performance was so relatable as the viewer, because so many times the things he was thinking and saying, I was like, me too. Like when they were hearing stuff and seeing stuff, he's like, we need to go. And not that whole we need to go and let's wait around. He's like, no, get your bags, we're leaving. And he was like that with it. But, I also thought that the dynamic between him and Sarah worked well as to being a couple, but obviously having different motivations. So like they work when they need to work and didn't when they didn't. And then obviously because of the threat of the overbearing Rebecca, they also was able to kind of wear those shoes really well too. So for this to be such a small cast, I think there's only 4 people in this film. It worked well. It really worked well. And I've got to tell you that, while everybody wants a great review, including me, so definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about this film, because, we want good ratings here. Cheap plug. But I will say this was a fun film, a little unexpected to what I thought it was going to be. Things get interesting at a point, like really interesting, unexpected. CGI just a little bit, but things get a little unexpected and takes a turn for the Shudder side of things. And overall, it was just good. I was entertained. So this is definitely a film that, if it interests you, check it out. If you're looking for something to watch, check it out. Or if you just want something to just kind of put in the background, kind of chill a little bit, I think it works on a lot of different occasions. And I, by all means, think this is a fantastic Friday night watch. So yes, folks. Be prepared for Superhost to just be like, you know what? I'm not renting Airbnbs ever again. Prepare for some laughs. Prepare to be kind of shocked. And prepare for a very bizarre personality and performance that Gracie puts on as Rebecca. It's really good because, man, some of the 0 to 100s that she has to hit in this, I mean, that just takes good acting to do that. So, but yeah, folks, check this out. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.